guys and gals, welcome to Trojan Horse Forge. We just want to do a little introduction here to you on our knife vise and show you how to use it, show you maybe some things you don't realize about it, and that's pretty much it. We're going to make this short and simple, and hopefully it helps you a lot. So it took us quite a while to get this developed. We built it originally for us in-house because we saw a need in our shop for certain things, and nothing on the market worked for us. It didn't have a pass-through because we make some longer blades, or it didn't have this or didn't have that. We didn't want to mount it to our bench because it's just in the way. Who has enough room in their shop to mount something to your bench? In my opinion, all people love it, but we just didn't have a place. So our shop is small, and like a lot of y'all, so we just started developing something, and then we got tired of cutting our guts with it, mounted into a vise, and it just evolved into what we have today. And then we decided to bring it to you. So here we go. Okay, so you're going to get it in this case. It comes in the case like this for a few different reasons. Number one, so you can put it away, get it out of your way. Also, you can pack it up and carry it with you when you go to somebody else's shop, which is a great thing, because every time you get to somebody else's shop, they finish their blades differently. And let's face it, our finish work is probably the most time we put into any one specific piece of our knife. So you can take this with you and be fluent with it all the time. Comes just like this. Inside the box here, there's only one thing that you really need to worry about, and that's this right here. All your little pieces for your rail are going to be in here, so don't forget about those. There's about a dozen of them. And your caps, you don't have to use the caps because these are plastic screws, but the caps help if you are really close to finished blade. The vise, it's going to come just like this. Break it apart. This is your rail system that's going to mount here, and we're going to go into detail on how to assemble and all that in just a few minutes. But first, I'm just kind of go over all your parts. It's very simple. There's not a lot to it. So you have a plate here, and during shipping or once it's clamped together, these will stick together sometimes because it's rubber. It's a 75 Duro rubber that is going to protect your blade as you're using it. But these will stick together sometimes. Take a rubber mallet or whatever and knock them apart. It's just a vacuum between them once they're clamped down. Then take it out, and it's ready to go once you mount this to it. So without further ado, we're going to get into the assembly. Next is the vise itself. Just using it for hand sanding on your handles, stuff like that. What's nice is you can put this any position you want to, like so, wherever you need it. Position it wherever you want it, clamp it in together, down, and this is your quick release. So you just flip this open, turn this wherever you want it, clamp it back, and you're solid. That simple. Boom, boom. You know, it depends on where this is set up. You know, you might be over here or however tight or loose you want it. Another tip, do not leave this tightened all the time. This is aluminum, and this vise aluminum will take memory. So if you leave your vise tightened down where it's like this, it's going to eventually get to where it's not loose enough to turn, because it's going to remind itself to stay there basically. What you can do is you can get a screwdriver or whatever if you have to, and put it in the pipe side right here. Loosen this up a lot, or take it out, whatever you want. Bend this and stretch it back out. Pretty simple. Not too hard. But as long as you don't forget to leave your clamp open, you'll never have that problem, because it'll be like this all the time. Also, this stuff in here is a little sticky, and you'll get a little vibration or whatever. You can coat it with some Teflon if you want to inside there, Teflon spray, and it'll be a little smoother, but as you use it, it's just going to get better and better and better. We put that in there just so that the clamp makes it real simple for you. You don't have to crank it down hard, and it keeps it solid. Also, it didn't scrape all your vise up. So next is the way we use this right here. So loosen this up, loosen this up. And if you see, this is a long blade. Problem you have with a lot of vices is you would stop right there. This one, you can push it all the way through and it'll pass almost, this one's almost out of the vise, it's so long. But if you have a blade over 11.5 inches long, it's going to stick out the end of this vise. So what? No problem at all, just don't run into it. I'll tighten both of them down just to be secure. Loosen this up, and you can turn this and access any port you want. Lock it down, get your perfect flat, flip it up. We have another little flat right here on this one, so you can get your perfect little angles, whatever you need to, get all over your handle. And this is a finished blade, and I'm not worried about putting it in here. It's not going to scratch up your knife. That's a 75 Duro. It's strong enough, yet soft enough. Another reason that we have this plate here, the way it's situated, you can take this out, wash it off, soap and water. Wash it off, clean it, you can clean inside there. You don't have to worry about gunk getting built up in there, and you can keep, all the stuff clean. It's not going to scratch your knife. Lots of good things. Okay, and that's pretty much how you use the vise. There's a lot of little things it does. Sliding down, it gains you more access if you have a longer blade, things like that. You can get to all your contours in here. On this side, so you have a integral that you need to sand, or anything, you can get all in here. So if you have we'll take this knife for instance, say you have a scratch that developed in it, you can loosen this up and see how wide this will go up. You can put this is a thick handle, it's 3/4 of an inch up here. You can put this in here, clamp it down. Even if you were turned around and needed to support it from the other end, it'll do the same. And this floats just enough that it'll contour to that handle, and you're rigid. It's rigid. It won't go anywhere. And you can access a final little sand trying to get something out, or whatever you need, with your handle inside of it. Even if you're one of the bladesmiths that finish everything once the handle is on it, as far as your Damascus and things like that, you can still access everything, which is great. There's no other vise on the market that I know that allows you to do that as efficiently. There we go. Let's go through assembly of our rail system real quick. So it comes with these two screws right here. You undo these two screws, and this will go either way. Clamp or put your rail up here, screw it in. Very easy. These are just thumb screws because it doesn't have to be real tight. But what I do personally, tighten your vise down good, is I wiggle it back and forth like so, and get that real tight, and it's secured. And that's all there is to assembly on this piece itself. So it comes with your little, these are 1/4 by the way. You just screw them in wherever you want, anywhere in here. So when you put your blade in, and this one is an integral, which it's very nice to have this vise for an integral, number one. So you just adjust this wherever you want it. You can slide this back, forward, if you need more room, whatever. There's a reason that it slides, and there's one of them. And just tighten these down real quick, real easy. And you can look under here and adjust your blade up. I'm not quite as far as I want to be up here because I want to support that tip perfectly. All right, so let's show you how we set up this rail. This one's an integral right here. So just, we can look down on top of this. You can see how I've got these started. And how I got that done was I put my blade where I see I'm going to line it up. So I want to support on my tip, and I want to support a couple of spots, you know, on my edge over here so I don't push it down, and maybe a couple spots in the back. This is a really thick knife, so I don't have much worries about that. And as you can see, this is a little too tall right here for this, but that's okay because it'll squish down. But you put those through all the way up till they stop. Run them up. And you know, you can have these in here, keep them out of the way, and then just run up and touch wherever you want with the ones in it. A lot of you are not going to use these plastic caps. I don't a lot of the time. But just for show here, we're going to have them. And this is going to really get you set up on your blade nicely. It's probably taking too long for y'all, but it's okay. There's another one here. I could support the center over here if I wanted to, but I'm just going to leave that one for right now because it's out of the way. And I can move my knife over and set it exactly where I want it. Top of those, and you clamp down. You get underneath and see where you're at. See how much space we have everywhere? So you just run up till they barely touch. Boom, boom. And now you're super stable, not going anywhere. So you can get in here, you can sand this big bevel. You can get in here in your ricotta area, on your, be it a, whatever kind of knife you're using. If it's flat, you can actually put your blade up in here, put your ricotta flat here. If you don't have a hidden tang, if you have a full tang, you can put your ricotta right here and you can really get on it. And one of the nice things about this vise, if you're hand sanding, is when you get your sandpaper and everything, whatever you're using, whatever flat piece, you can line your hands up right here, hold it, and drag perfect, and have perfect straight lines on your finish. You know, there's a lot of little nice things about this rail system that really help you. You can get in over here, around over here, your tip supported. You can even raise it up if you want. So you don't have that little drop off like you do when you're on a board. It's just, we enjoy it. If you're on a thinner knife, you might want to put more supports in there. You can put them, about an inch apart, a little over. Actually, it's less than that because you can get them all in there if you want to. And just support that whole blade, and you'll have very little dip at all anywhere. Well, that's our rail system. Pretty simple to use. Okay, while we have this set up, we're going to do a little maintenance tip. Even some of them we ship out, when we're doing the final finish, they'll get stuff inside of them, and your plastic bolts won't run up and down real easy. And when you're hand sanding, you're going to have all your metal running into these. So get a 1/4-20 tap, or you could probably even use just a 1/4-20 bolt if you wanted to, and run through them. Run through them, clean them out, and you're going to have to do this periodically if you use this a lot. You just run them through and it cleans all the stuff out. I mean, like I say, even on the initial shipping, sometimes it'll have these left in there when we do, because we do our final finish on it. There's a great tip. You'll need it. Okay, a couple more little points we're going to touch on. This rubber is replaceable. Get with us and we'll get you some if you need it. You just heat this up and this will peel off. Heat gun, peel it off. You can put leather on it if you want to, but it breaks down pretty fast. That's the reason we use this rubber. Other than that, we really appreciate everything that y'all do for us. Thank you for all your business. These go on pre-order, and right now we have pre-orders and they're limited quantity. We can't produce a whole lot of them at a time. It's just too time consuming and it's a big expense for us. And on your pre-order, you get free shipping, number one. That'll save you 25, 30 bucks, 35 if you're far north. And also, if you'll send us your logo, we'll have it lasered on here for you. But that's pre-order only. Once we get production runs done, and then they're just for regular sale. Usually there's not many left, if there are any, but we're not able to etch that logo on because we do it during production. And that wraps it up, man. Jeff and I really want to thank you for everything you do. Jeff's behind the camera right now, and I'm Sam, and that's Jeff. There you go. And that's really it. That's a good wrap. And if y'all have any questions, let us know. You know, hit us up on Instagram or message us direct. Our numbers are on our site. Emails on our site. You can contact us through there, wherever you want to. We're pretty accessible. Thank you, guys. You have a great one.